Why assurance seeking is keeping you in the cycle. Now, chances are, if you're in this recovery process, you may be Google searching your symptoms. You may be talking to people that you really trust, like family members. You might be getting assurances from your doctors. You might even be using these videos as a way to assurance seek. Oh, okay, well, it's just anxiety. Is it anxiety? How do I know? Well, in this video, I'm going to share with you why assurance seeking is actually keeping you in the cycle. It seems safe, right? It seems benign. Okay, you're assurance seeking. You just want to make sure. Well, the problem is that it's keeping you in the cycle. And in this video, I'm going to share with you what to do instead of assurance seeking. So with that said, let's get it started. I remember during my anxiety journey, I was Google searching so much that it pretty much became a full-time job. I remember one day, I'm not kidding, I think I Google searched from 8 in the morning till 10 at night. So 14 hours of Google search, researching. And at that time, I was researching because I thought I had, well, what I was told I had was leaky gut syndrome, candida. I had some naturopath doctor, some chiropractor tell me that the reason I was experiencing all this was because of my diet and because I had a leaky gut. And if I just fixed my leaky gut, like a ship, like just fix the holes, I was back to living normal. Well, I'd never heard of it. So I started researching all of it. And what happened was that, I was researching everything and anything I could. And trust me, the internet was really good at convincing me. It convinced me of anything. Not only that, I had other issues. What if it's this? What if it's that? There was a time where I was researching anxiety, trying to figure out, is this anxiety? How does this work? This person says recovery is not possible. This person says it is possible. What is it? What is it? And pretty soon that ended up generalizing. I started getting assurances from my family members. Hey, mom, dad, is everything going to be okay? Is everything going to be sure? Am I going to go back? Then I started assurance seeking with my doctors, of course, obviously. Is this going to go away? What is it? Okay. Like, what do I know? Like, and then I would just get assurances from anybody and everybody. And sometimes it would work. Sometimes it would work, meaning I'd feel better. But then what would happen? Well, next day I'd wake up, I would experience morning anxiety, and I was back in that assurance seeking. And it became a compulsion. It became such a bad habit. I couldn't stop it. I would get assurances from strangers, people that didn't even know me. And they were like, what is this guy even talking about? And so I had really gotten off the deep end of assurance seeking. And chances are you probably have too. And the key is to really understand that I know how it feels. I know, as somebody who went through this themselves, I understand how assurance seeking, why you're doing it, the intent behind it. But here's the thing. Assurance seeking keeps you in the cycle. Now, that sounds weird, right? If anything, you would feel like assurance seeking doesn't do anything. It just placates you and feels better in the moment. Sure, maybe it doesn't fix the problem, but what's wrong with trying to feel better in the moment? What's wrong with trying to feel better, right? Well, here's the problem. A lot of the anxiety suffering is happening because you're not willing to feel it. You're not willing to feel the symptoms. Now, why? Well, these symptoms are very debilitating. If anyone else went through it, they would know that what you're going through is very, very intense. And nobody wants to feel this way, right? I understand. I remember I had the same symptoms. When I'm guiding people, they have the same symptoms. I know how uncomfortable it is. So naturally, you want to assurance seek. Yeah, it'll make you feel a little bit better in the moment. And what's wrong with trying to feel a little bit better? Well, like I say, a lot of the reasons why you're in this cycle is because you're trying to avoid how you feel. And so assurance seeking, what it does is that it becomes another coping crutch. It becomes another coping trick. It becomes another managing trick. That's fine in certain situations. It's even fine in the beginning of recovery, especially when you don't know what's happening. It is kind of important to know what's happening. But there becomes a point where it becomes a compulsion, where you're using assurances as a way to feel better in the moment. And here's the problem. Every time you try to feel better in the moment, you sacrifice the future. You become a slave to the anxiety. You sacrifice long-term freedom. So the key is actually the opposite. It's focusing on long-term freedom. It's recognizing that you don't always try to need to feel better in the moment. That in fact, Claire Week says it the best, your recovery lies behind the symptoms you fear the most, right? It's weird. If you can respond to the symptoms correctly, well, the long-term consequence is that the symptoms go away, right? But that's a long-term game. That's a long-term game. It's not an overnight game. It's not a sprint. It's a marathon. And what assurance seeking does is that it makes it a sprint. It makes it a quick fix. Everything going to be okay? Yes, everything's going to be fine. Okay, you sure? You sure it's nothing else? You sure it's not this? You sure it's not that? Like, how do you know? Okay, you sure, right? Yes. Okay, cool. And then what happens? Little time goes by, the anxiety comes back, you go back to the same way. And so the key is really to focus on long-term freedom. What's the best way to focus on long-term freedom? First, do you even know what's happening? Do you know why you're experiencing the symptoms? That's important. You're trying to make this go away before knowing what the problem is. It's not going to work. You have to know what the problem is. And that's often the hardest part, because when you go online, you get inundated with so many different conflicting information. You don't know which one to choose. Is it childhood trauma? Is it a chemical imbalance? Is it a diet issue? Is it a subconscious problem? Is it an inner child problem? I don't even know if I said that. I probably said that before. But the point is that you have to understand which one is it? Which one is it? And the truth is, it's none of those things. Really what's happening is it has to do with more of a nervous system thing. And so once you focus on that, then you can focus on long-term freedom. And what I find is when I guide people through recovery, once they come out of it, they let go of the subject of anxiety. They're not assurance seeking anymore. They're going back to living. They're having fun. They know what's happening. They know everything that's happening. They know how to respond, and this never becomes a problem again. And what's the consequence of that is that they become free. The subject of anxiety is gone. They're constant trying to feel, how do I feel? How do I feel? They don't have to worry about it because they feel fine. They feel good. So if you really want to know more, I would challenge you, check out those success stories. I guarantee you it will resonate with somebody at least. And if you do, let me know who it is. Let me know in the comments. Who do you resonate with so much? The link is down below. It's going to be in the description, and it's going to be in the comments section. Check out these success stories. They're real life people. They're people just like you. I've known them every step of the way. Most of the people were people that I personally helped. Even those people have now become coaches. Caesar, America, Shiv. These guys were clients of mine. I remember the first time I met them. I remember how bad of a place they were. I remember how much assurance seeking they were having. And now they're helping others. Now they're actually helping others, and now they're living. They're having a great time. You know, Shiv, as a newborn baby, he's living his life freely. Same with Caesar. He's like focusing on his business. America is doing amazing stuff. Kaylee's doing amazing stuff. Heather is doing some incredible stuff. They're all helping others and like focusing on other things, not anxiety. We're never talking about anxiety unless we're talking about the members in the mentorship. So I really challenge you, focus on long-term freedom. Okay, and with that said, I'll see you in the next one.